should inflate. They should go up in price based on their merits, not because Leon and I are talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So so Zcash was over inflated.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, and let's talk a little bit about Augur. Augur came out is kind of like a Zcash, not to that degree, but if you remember when Augur was finally released this year, it came out like at $10. That's over $100 million.
Yeah,
for something
that was definitely overvalued too.
And I said this on my Twitter. I was like, this is not worth $100 million. They're still in beta. Okay.
Yeah.
And you just look at other things that are still in beta at that stage of development. It's not worth that much, and sure enough, it's now at 30. I still think it's still a bit overvalued.
Yeah, I still think it's overvalued.
Even at $3, that's still a $30 million valuation. If you're going to pay $30 million, I think Factom is worth $30 million.
Yeah,
right?
because they actually
customers,
have
real
exactly
backing, and they have everything. It's like if you're going to pay $30 million.
Yeah, and you've been to their headquarters dozens of times
since they're based in Austin, right? And I know that they got real business paying clients.
Yeah.
And Augur.
And you're a coder, and you're talking to all those coders there, and you know they're legit.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was just like, Ty, like you like to look at the charts, but I am looking at the price of the valuation. What value are we getting, and what could this be in the future, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that I think is what we the three projects I think that stand out in my mind: Zcash, Augur, Waves, and of course the DAO. That's four, right?
Yeah. Okay, so how about this? Let's talk about the projects that were completely undervalued, and it was going under the radar. The market didn't pay attention to it, and it was just bad timing.
Yeah, that's Stratus.
Stratus, the Stratus platform with Chris True and them.
Yeah.
They win the gold medal for the most undervalued cryptocurrency project in 2016.
Yeah, and I don't think that's good long term. I mean, even though in the short run we made a lot of money as participating in the ICO.
Yeah.
That's not good for the long term, because that means the project is not getting enough capital for what they need to do, right?
Yeah.
And so what I want as an investor, for long term, is we want to make sure the project raises enough money
to survive for at least
to do
3 to 5 years.
Well, not even whatever they're trying to do. That the right amount of funding.
Yeah.
That they get the right amount of money that's just enough for them to accomplish what they need.
Yeah.
And maybe a little extra buffer, for margin of error.
Yeah, like they have to you want it so that they just they have to eat like ramen noodles to get the project to succeed.
Yeah, or
right?
maybe a hamburgers.
Yeah, a hamburger.
Hamburgers, right? Not steak, right?
Yeah.
Or filet mignon, but maybe not ramen noodles, because I want them to be well fed, right?
Yeah. I think they should be eating ramen noodles until their project gets off the ground, and they get paid when the project's successful.
Sure.
So Leon and I have a little bit different. I'm not a coder. He is, so he's going to favor them first.
So I want them, but still low enough that we get compensated as investors.
Yeah.
For our return, right?
Yeah.
Now, given that Stratus was way undervalued,
because they only raised $600,000.
And in the short term, we made out fabulously. It's now, I mean, this is like
I made out like
7x in terms of Bitcoin, and like a 10x, 20x. I mean, a 15x. I think it got up to, right?
No, it got to 20x.
20x.
Yeah, which is a 2,000% profit.
2,000% profit. Yeah.
For less than what? 3 months?
In 3 months. Yeah.
In 3 months.
Three months, yeah. So
that's life changing.
That's life changing.
That's life changing profits right there,
Although
bro.
the liquidity is low, you
could still cash out.
Still cash out.
It just takes a little bit of time.
So that was now that okay. So a lot of why was it overvalued? Why did Waves get 20 million, and even List
I think
got
Chris
7 million,
I think
8 million.
I think Chris True and the Stratus team.
Yeah.
I think they screwed up because one, they didn't let anybody know about them.
Okay, so let's go over.
But let's go over some of the mistakes they made.
Okay, number one, they should have done more promotion.
Yeah, they should have marketed
They
themselves.
started the ICO, right?
Yeah.
I had no idea who they were.
Yeah, and they had Nicholas Dwyer,
one of the core developers.
Yeah, one of the Bitcoin core developers.
That's the only person. That's the only reason I put some money in, because I knew, okay, all right, at least this is not a scam. And the valuation came in at around 700,000, and I'm like, I read the white paper. If they do anything, as long as they don't take the money and run, if they just even attempt to do any of this stuff,
it should be a 3 to 5x,
3 or 5x, right? And so that's why I decided, all right, I'll throw a few Bitcoins in here. But really,
they didn't tell anybody about their project.
I had no idea who those guys are. I mean, we knew who Max was, like from Lisk.
Yeah.
We knew who Sasha was. He's
from the
coming
NXT.
out of NXT community and Coinomad and all that. Same thing with Max. He was also part of NXT, and you knew him. And you look at Ethereum. They went to conferences. They promoted themselves.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, this guy Chris True comes out, and he says that he's going to build this Stratus platform, and nobody knows who the hell he is.
Yeah, nobody knows who the hell he is, right? So, I mean, that was one thing that was definitely in their control that they could have done. And the other thing was the timing was off because there was the halving.
Yeah, they came out when the Bitcoin halving was occurring, and everybody was waiting on that. Yeah. So nobody wanted to put Bitcoins into his project because they wanted, they expected the halving to increase the price of Bitcoin.
Sure.
So nobody wanted to give up their Bitcoins to invest into an unknown.
We had no idea who these guys are, right? And, but I read the white paper, and I thought, like, well, if
hey, can you pull up this on your map real quick while you're talking? Pull up Google Maps.
Oh, sure. Are we lost?
I thought we were.
Yeah. What are we looking for here?
Cali. Saigon.
Saigon Mall, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's see here. We are.
We pass it?
You're going the.
Head south on South.
You got to make a U-turn. You're going the wrong way. Yeah.
Well, we passed it up.
This is 635, right? Yeah. You got to go north.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a U-turn right here.
All right. So I decided to take a chance on them because the valuation just came in so low.
Yeah.
And I read the white paper. I'm like, you know what? If Lisk is worth, a lot of this is relative valuation, right?
Yeah.
If you're willing to pay, say, $7 million for Lisk, and you're willing to pay $18 million for Waves, for example.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this, and this isn't. And I think you remember that conversation I had with you on Friday.
Yeah, because you were telling me, hey man, you need to put money into this Stratus platform. I'm like, dude, they can't even freaking build a website correctly, a modern website.
But
that was the problem I had.
I understood all that, right? But I was just saying, it's just so low that if it's not a scam, if he just does anything, if he comes through, if he builds that, if he builds like a Bitcoin node in C# or something, that's worth.
But I did get in after the ICO, so I still got in at a fairly. I got something. I didn't get the 10 to 20x like you did. But I still got a few X's out of it.
Yeah, sure. So anyway, that was just something. It's like if you.
They didn't market themselves. They came out with the ICO during the Bitcoin halving, which nobody paid attention to because to who he was. And so things like that. So it was just bad timing. And
bad timing and no marketing.
And then even when they released their, even when they came out with their full node or whatever, because Nicholas is a Bitcoin core developer, and he is not going to work on any other project. And they were going to use his, they're going to pay him to build out whatever implementation that he was doing for Bitcoin, and then take to that Bitcoin software and then repackage it as the Stratus platform.
Sure.
They were going to use about 90% of it. So even when Nicholas was done and they were able to get that 90% of the code that they needed to start the Stratus platform, they released it at a time when, they announced that at a time when, what else? Something else came along that was big news, and so these guys just, I don't know if they just don't have very good timing when they release good news about their project.
Well, given that since then they've come through. They've really come through. They delivered their first milestone. They got themselves onto Microsoft Azure. They just got listed to Poloniex. They have some part, they're opening a relationship with Microsoft. So all of these things are good things. And
now, what else is undervalued besides Stratus?
What else?
They take the gold medal, but what else did you see that was undervalued?
Oh, Factom.
Factom is outrageously well. At the time, it's not as undervalued as Stratus. But Factom was something that we have been, screaming at the top of our lungs about and been telling people about. I mean, like every one of our, if you guys have been listening to us, man, if you guys did not make money off of Factom in 2016 from following us on our channel, and you pretty much followed us since the beginning of the year, you really need to just, unsubscribe or something.
Because we were screaming.
Yeah, but we've been telling people about Factom, and you've been going to their headquarters, and you've been pounding those guys out to get information out of them. And we're relaying.
I realized that they got something there, and at that time it was coming in at an $8 million valuation. It was at $1, right? Which puts it at 8 points, between 80 cents and $1. I think.
And you hit it right on the money on your valuation of what we can expect to get the price out of them.
Yeah, that's right.
You hit it. You nailed it right on the motherfucking head, man.
And like we'll talk about this in our course that we're going to have. It's how we came up with these valuations, right?
Yeah, it takes too long here to do it now, guys. But we're putting together a cryptocurrency investing blueprint, and we're going to go into details about how we came out with the valuation models that we came up with to help figure out that Factom was undervalued.
And then guys, like you got to remember, like the game is the price is right?
Yeah.
And you have to figure out like what is a reasonable price to pay to compensate you for the risk that you're taking.
Yeah.
Okay. In the case of we got another.
Halfway there.
We're about 2 miles, 2.5 miles.
Okay.
In the case of Stratus, I was like, if they match Dogecoin, Dogecoin doesn't do shit, right?
Yeah.
If they get to the level of Dogecoin from here at the ICO price, this is better than Ethereum, or as good as Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
30, 40x, right?
And we're not talking about in terms of is the blockchain as good as, is the Stratus blockchain as good, when he says that as good as Ethereum, we're not talking about is the Stratus platform, the blockchain is good as
the return.
We're talking about the life-changing profits that can happen.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, can they do can this be worth as much as Dogecoin, right? And the answer is if they do even a third or half of what they say they want to do, then it can be a 25 million, right? And if you're investing from a 700,000 valuation, a 10x is only 7 million, a 20x is only 14 million.
And that's easily achievable because other cryptocurrencies have done it before.
Have done that before. Factom has done it, right?
Yeah.
And Factom, when I picked it up, it was at $1. I'm looking at an $8.7 million valuation. I said that, based on the research that I've done and based on what I found out, because of the customers they were getting, that this thing should be worth 30, 40, 50, something like that, right? And then you can easily turn a $30 million valuation to what is the price per factoid based on the outstanding supply, right? It's right here, right? It's our shopping mall? No. Oh, wait, Atai, you had to keep going.
Oh.
You too soon. Turn around, get back. Two more about another, go back. Another...
Head east on West Walnut Street toward North Bards Drive.
2.7 miles.
Turn right onto North Bards Drive.
Actually, just make a left here, So that was, what were we were talking about? Factom? Yeah, Factom,
Factom
right?
and Stratus.
Factom and Stratus. So Factom was one that we pounded that, because we were pounding the...
I'm not sure if we made more profits from Factom or more profits from Ethereum.
Well, okay, Ethereum, we had a better return, but we put a much bigger position on Factom.
Yeah, so,
we definitely still made more.
And you know what? It was the first time that, it's not the first time, but it was, I maxed out my margin. I maxed out my margin on Factom to test out the margin systems that they had on Poloniex, because I wanted to understand it so that I can explain it correctly in our cryptocurrency investing blueprint. And so what we did was I maxed out the margins to see what would happen, and so I got a massive return on on Factom.
Yeah.
You know, based on your analysis and the analysis that I did on the charts.
And we still hold it. We still hold Factom, and we still are optimistic, bullish on that project. It's one of the, I think, it's one of the
I think that we have to put a disclaimer out there too, that, you know, we have members on our team, guys, that are investors in the Factom Incorporated, the company itself, not just the coin. Okay, so I just want you guys to be aware of that as you guys hear us talking about Factom, that we actually have people on our team that have you know, put money into the company itself too.
Sure.
So it's not just the cryptocurrency tokens, the coins itself, but this is actually into the company.
One other thing, talk about undervaluation. Ether Classic, remember that call?
Oh, Ether Classic, yeah. That, in my opinion, is one of the best calls that you made fundamentally and that I made technically this year.
Yeah. So remember when you know? So let's recap. You know, the DAO happens, Ethereum hard forks.
Yeah.
And then out of the blue, Poloniex lists it. Like they just blindside everyone. Right?
Yeah,
we had no idea this was coming, right?
Yeah, and like we were up for hours trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, that's right.
We were back and forth on the phone
and then
all day long trying to figure out what
the community was just like scrambling, like what the hell just happened, because huge trading volume happened. And it was crashing, and we were saying, "Is this a scam?" And blah blah. And then they were arguing.
Yeah, I even tweet out to people not to touch it because it's a scam.
Yeah.
And then we spent all day trying to figure out what's going on.
What's going on? And then finally, I think this was at 60 cents, right? Back then, and I call you up and I say, "Hey, Ty, like we see massive volume, right?"
Yeah, like even if it's a scam, there should not be this much volume coming in.
We just saw massive volume, and I just said, "Hey, Ty, you know." 60 cents with this much volume,
it's like buying the ICO all over again.
It's like buying the ICO. Like, you know, as long as another exchange picks it, there is no way another exchange doesn't pick this up with this much volume. There's just too much money on the table.
Yeah.
Right?
And so we calculated they were making thousands of, what, I don't know, $80,000 a day in transaction fees.
Something like that.
So another exchange, and we were betting on the fact that if one more exchange picks up Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, that it would be worth it for us to take the risk to invest into it. Yeah. So that's why we loaded up on it. Yeah, we loaded up way more than we did during the Ethereum ICO, the original Ethereum ICO.
We put our money down on that because it was just and this was like, you know, we thought that it's a scam, and I said it's just too big.
The volume was not what do you call that? The amount of volume. Check the map again. The amount of volume that was being transacted was not
another mile. All right.
Was not. What do you call? What is that word? Was not indicative of it being a scam.
Yeah.
Because if it was a scam, no one person or institution could have had enough money to buy up all that Ethereum Classic.
Yeah, to trade all that, right?
Yeah, to trade all that.
So, you know, it was.
So we speculated there had to be some big players that knew something that we didn't, and that all we needed was one more exchange to pick it up.
Yeah.
And we speculated that because of the transaction fees that Poloniex was collecting, like $80-something thousand worth of transaction fees, I think it was. Whatever the number it was thousands of dollars. It was worth it for one more exchange to pick it up, and if that was the case, we would have gotten a 3 to 5x return out of it.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I mean that.
And we even tweeted out to everybody, so I mean I hope that you guys made some money off of that, you know?
Yeah. So I mean that was one of our, I mean we had a good call.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Now I didn't publicly state this because we got hacked, guys, and I wanted to make a video to tell everyone that a good buy point for Ethereum Classic was at around 100,000 Satoshis, and you know, I had gotten hacked on some personal stuff, so I'd be busy focused on security for that, and we were busy creating our cryptocurrency investing blueprint. So
after this light.
Okay, so I know where it's at from here then.
Okay. Yeah.
So we were too busy to make the video about it, but I did tell all my close friends and the people on our team, and we did pull out a what do you call that? We did pull out massive returns on it back at 100,000 satoshis.
Sure.
You know, so it kind of sucked because I didn't have time to make the videos to let everyone know about that one.
Yeah.
So I couldn't help it because I was busy dealing with the hacks that were happening to me. So that was more important.
Yeah, and you know, we later find out, like, we got some big names behind Ethereum Classic. We got like Barry Silbert, Charles Hopkins. You know, I think he just hired 7 developers for ETC, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean, we still are long.
We're still long. We still hold some big positions in Ethereum
frankly,
Classic.
I think at this level, Ethereum Classic is
still a good buy.
It's still a good buy compared to, especially versus Ether hard fork, right? ETH, right?
If I had $100 or $1,000 right now, and you asked me, hey, which one would you?
Which Ether would you buy?
Which Ether would you buy? The Ethereum Classic or the Ethereum hard fork? I would definitely put it into the Ethereum Classic immediately because I would get more of it. And when it reaches price parity, which means that the price of both of them are going to be the same, then you're going to come out way more profitable with the Ethereum Classic than you will for your $100 or your $1,000 for your money versus the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's I think a good wrap for like the stuff. One thing I'd like to talk about though, you know, is all the things we missed that we just weren't looking at because you know
because we only have time to focus on like maybe a dozen.
Yeah, a dozen. Like this is just you know. I think we've gone over some of our mistakes, some of the things we missed, and some of the things we hit really big.
Yeah.
But
which one do you think we missed?
I think Monero.
Monero
was our biggest miss. I think, and it's not, we missed it not because we just didn't.
We just didn't have time. It's not that we didn't want to because I kept telling you, hey, that girl, what's her name? She was on the Daily Decrypt.
Look at all the stuff
because they hired her.
Yeah, Dash. That was on Dash.
Yeah, and Amanda.
Yeah.
She was doing that Daily Decrypt show. It was very popular.
Yeah.
Right. You know, because a lot of the nerdy guys out there, you know, think she's cute and everything.
Yeah, sure.
Right. You know, you think she's cute. Right. Anyway, and she knew what she was talking about, and she had a good audience, and she left that channel in tears to go work on the Dash channel. Right, to promote them.
Yeah.
So that right there was a clear sign, and she's a reputable cryptocurrency individual in the crypto community. So when she went there, I kept telling you that, hey man, we need to look at this, but we just didn't have time.
Yeah, we didn't have time. So
we just didn't have time.
Let's just, like Monero, I think has done better this year than even Ethereum.
Yeah.
You know, I remember looking at it because it was like the only reason I looked at it because I was looking at Factom and
you were looking at Amanda.
I was thinking, well, that was Dash. No, let's go back. Like, let's just quickly list out like what did we miss, right? Like, what were the things? Like, these are just the things we got into, but there was so much that we didn't even have. Like, this is not our full-time job, right? So we had our Rio job. So there's only so much time that we can spend doing this. But think about all the big winners that have happened this year: Dash, Monero, NEM. Steam.
Hey, you know what? New economy movement. I screwed up on that one because I actually got in.
Yeah. I mean, all of these that we
Scenario.
Well, now it's in the tank, but there was a 10-20xer at one point. Yeah.
There's one that you forgot, and you keep kicking yourself in the ass for it.
Which one's that?
All the pot coins.
Potcoin,
man.
Yeah, Potcoin.
You said you screwed up on that.
Well, I'm screwed up right now. I'm still screwed. Yeah, because I can't even sell. My wallet's stuck, and I don't know why. You know.
No, but just the Potcoin bucket. Remember we talked about the different buckets?
Yeah.
You know, like MadeSafe, all the decentralized storage. Like Siacoin.
Yeah, that was one of my big wins. But I only put like half a Bitcoin into it or something like that. So now it's went up like 5-6x or something like that.
Yeah.
But
we screwed up with the pot bucket.
The pot bucket, yeah. But I think we missed out on the privacy. That was a miss that we just, like I said, it's not that we didn't want to, but we just didn't have the time. So that's the Dash and the Moneros, and I think we also the Steam and Steemit. We had an opportunity to get in really low.
Yeah.
That we missed that. New economic movement. I still have no idea what they're about.
Well, the thing is, I got into that and then I got out of it to put the money into Factom.
Sure.
So it's not a bad bet, right? But I should have kept it because the returns on it would have been much higher.
Huge.
You know?
Yeah, huge. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot. Like I said, guys, there's tons of stuff that you can go after besides what we did. Like I said, there's a lot of opportunity here, and I think that this will still be the case.
Hey, one of the other lessons that because we're people are trying to hack us every day since we're popular in the cryptocurrency community. One of the lessons that one of the biggest lessons that we both learned this year was maintaining security.
That's going to be a constant battle.
Yeah, this is guys, you are in control of your Bitcoins. So like the reason why we don't talk about the other guys on our team, guys, is because we don't want them to become targets of hackers also. Leon and I are constantly getting targeted every day by people who think that we have, tons of Bitcoins and they want to rob us, from Russia, or from China, or from wherever it is, Pakistan or Africa, or from wherever they're at. So because of that, one of the things that we've learned, after getting hacked, I would say several times this year, I would say that we highly recommend using a password manager. On a Mac, you use a Dashlane.
I'm a big Dashlane user. Yeah.
Okay, on a PC, I like to use KeePass X, right? And that works on a Mac and on a PC. And I also, we both recommend using a hardware wallet like Trezor.
Yes, at least for the coins that you can use them for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Bitcoins, Litecoins, all the.
Yeah, like if for sure, if you have like some Bitcoins that you plan on keeping for long term, like you're set on holding this for multi-months and multi-years, you definitely need to put it in a store those Bitcoins inside the Trezor, some type of hardware wallet like Trezor, or like the more
Ledger Nano
the Ledger Nano S.
There's a bunch of them on the market, and they all work the same way. I personally use a Trezor and Ledger Nano S.
Yeah, that's what we use.
Because they said Ledger Nano Trezor just because it was the first one.
Yeah.
And Ledger Nano S supports multiple currencies.
And the other thing, so a password manager, a hardware wallet, and then the other thing we discussed was that using some type of hardware key.
Yeah, some kind of a second factor hardware key where and that is not supported everywhere yet.
Yeah.
But in the places it is supported, but
especially to protect your password manager, because the password manager protects all your passwords.
Yeah.
But then there's nothing to protect the password manager.
Yeah, sure.
Which is the only thing that protects it is the master password, and that master password, if it gets cracked, it exposes, hundreds and thousands of your passwords inside your password manager to the hacker. So that's why we recommend using some type of hardware key, something similar to either the Ledger Nano S, which is a hardware wallet and a hardware key.
Many of these Bitcoin wallets also can be used as a hardware key.
Yeah. Or if you just need a hardware key alone, use a YubiKey.
YubiKey, yeah, that's been around for years.
Which is spelled YUBI, YubiKey.
Yeah.
And key, like the key that locks your door.
Yeah.
So that's a Yankee, Uniform, Bravo, India. That's how you spell it.
So security is going to be a topic. I think that's something that we have to pay attention more, especially as the ecosystem grows and our holdings become more valuable.
Yeah, it's so important, guys, that when we release our cryptocurrency investing blueprint, it's actually mandatory that you have to go through the security portion of the curriculum first before you're even allowed to complete the rest of the curriculum. Yeah. Because if you go through the curriculum and you make the life-changing profits like we show you, but you don't secure your Bitcoins or your cryptocurrencies, then you won't have no life-changing money left.
Sure.
to
it's going to get taken from you.
It's going to, because this is not like in the old days where people have to come and rob you at gunpoint anymore, guys. This stuff is for real. There are going to be people that will constantly try to rob you from other cities, other states, and other countries. Every day, Leon and I are faced with it. And so most of our time is spent, you know, making sure that we're secure, and then only a portion of the time we spent on researching new cryptocurrencies. So if you guys ever wonder, like, what are these guys doing? You know, the majority of the time we're focused on making sure that we don't get hacked.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a good chunk of our time. That definitely is.
You know, it eats up a lot of our time, and I wish that we didn't have to spend time on that, so we can spend more time on researching the cryptocurrencies and sharing it with you guys. But that's the reality of being in this business.
For today.
Yeah.
At least for now. I you know, people are constantly working on this.
Yeah.
And it's getting easier.
Yeah, the good news is that if you're getting into cryptocurrencies now, every year that goes by, every month and every year that goes by, it gets easier and easier and safer and safer.
Yeah.
So today, this is as risky as it gets. And then next week, it gets less risky. Next year, it gets even less risky. However, the downside to that is that while we are willing to take that risk now, the reward's a lot higher.
That's true.
You know, by the time that it's safe to use like a credit card or like regular fiat currencies, I don't see it doing a 20x
right.
return
or
a 50x. No, it's not gonna.
It's not. It still can be, but it won't. It'll be harder to get.
It'll still be better than the traditional bullshit 3 to 5% profits off of
the stock market.
Your stock market or dumb shit like that. Yeah. It'll still be better than that, but it won't be the 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000% profits like you can see right now.
Yeah.
You know, so we wanted to throw that portion about the security in there, guys, because it's so critical. And coming up in 2017, we plan on probably talking a lot about that, and not just because we've been interviewing a lot of people on about the ICO projects and the different cryptocurrencies. But we haven't really interviewed anybody about their wallets and their hardware wallets and stuff. The only one that we've interviewed about their wallet is the Exodus platform.
The Exodus. We did an interview over there.
Which we felt comfortable. That was the first wallet outside of the bread wallet that we reviewed because we were actually comfortable with that, to where we were comfortable recommending it to you guys. And we'll talk more about that. Now
that's a desktop wallet. That's not even a hardware wallet. Although I think they did mention, Daniel, I think he did mention they're working. That's something they're working on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that's
And then that's it. Now, if you guys notice, we didn't talk about anything about Bitcoin in this video for the year-end review. We are going to talk about that in a separate video, simply because, you know, Bitcoin is the granddaddy, and you know, we want. There's so much to talk about that we need to talk about with Bitcoin and where it's going, that we need to make a separate video just for that.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So thanks for watching this video, guys. You have anything else?
No, that's it.
Before I wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
Okay, so thanks for watching this video, guys. I know it's been, we're not putting out as many videos as we used to. And there are several reasons for that. The security issues that we have to deal with on a frequent basis.
Market manipulation. We don't.
And second is that we don't want to artificially manipulate the markets. We have a very good reputation as being the most popular cryptocurrency investing channel, and we have we're a trusted source in that matter, and we don't want to lose that credibility, and we don't want to be accused of pumping